Good day everyone. I am Sherwin Ditlasyo from Financial Management 1201. And for today's video, I will present to you my visual presentation about my chosen technological advancement, which is the cell phone. So before I continue, have you ever asked yourself how ancient people communicated? Ancient people communicated by the use of cave paintings, smoke signs, symbols, pigeon bearers, and telegraph. Alexander Graham Bell was a Scottish-born scientist and inventor who founded the Bell Telephone Company in 1877. After creating the first operational telephone in 1876, Bell's success sprang from his sound experiment and his family interest in aiding deaf people communication. For more additional information about Alexander Graham Bell, here is a short video presentation.
Today we're going to learn about the famous inventor, Alexander Graham Bell. Alexander Graham Bell, best known for his invention of the telephone, was born on March 3, 1847, in Edinburgh, Scotland. Young Alexander, called Alec by his family, was a curious child who was very interested in the science of sound. He loved music and taught himself to play the piano. His father taught elocution, or how to speak clearly and correctly. When he was a teenager, his mother began to lose her hearing, and that encouraged him to learn even more about sound. At the age of 12, Alec created his first invention. His best friend's family operated a flour mill. At the time, it took a lot of work to remove the husks from the wheat, but with some paddles and brushes, Alexander Graham Bell invented a dehusking machine that made the job much simpler. In return, his friend's father gave him a small workshop to experiment with his inventions. Although he was homeschooled as a child, Alexander attended high school in Edinburgh. He didn't do very well in school and left before he finished it. Afterward, he went to live with his grandfather in London. His grandfather encouraged him and helped him gain an appreciation for learning, and soon after, Bell began teaching elocution like his father and helping deaf people learn to speak. By 1870, when Bell was 23, both of his brothers had died from a disease called tuberculosis. Alexander was sick too, and his parents were very worried that he would also die. They moved to Canada. They thought the air there was healthier than the air in London. During his time in Canada, Bell got well again, and in 1871, he moved to Boston, Massachusetts. He began spending less of his time teaching and more time inventing. He experimented with a telegraph that could send more than one message at once by using different sound frequencies, and while he was working on that, he started to believe that he could invent a way to send the human voice over wires. Bell did not have much success with his invention until 1874, when he met Thomas Watson, an electrical designer and mechanic, who helped him with his work. On March 10, 1876, Alexander Graham Bell got his telephone to work. He said, "Mr. Watson, come here. I want to see you." Thomas Watson, who was in another room, heard Bell's voice and came to see. The telephone had worked. Less than 6 months later, telephone demonstrations were being given while curious people stood by, amazed to hear voices from people a few miles away come out of Bell's invention. Soon, thousands and thousands of people owned telephones. After the success of his invention, Alexander Graham Bell got married and had a family. Although he is best known for the invention of the telephone, he invented many other things throughout his life, including the metal detector, a wireless telephone that transmitted a signal with light, a device to detect icebergs, an invention to detect problems with someone's hearing, and more. In 1915, Bell made the first transcontinental phone call. While he was in New York, he talked to his old assistant Thomas Watson, who was in San Francisco, and they heard each other much more clearly than they did during the first phone call in 1876. On August 2nd, 1922, at the age of 75, Alexander Graham Bell died at his home in Nova Scotia, Canada. When he died, every phone in North America was turned off and silent in his honor. I hope you enjoyed learning about Alexander Graham Bell today.
So let's move on to the very point of my visual presentation. Let's first watch the video I chose, which is the story and evolution of the cell phone.
Before cell phones, there were car phones.
Good morning, Miss McCardle. How did the market open?
In fact, the original car phone weighed about 80 pounds. In 1947, an engineer at Bell Labs envisioned a futuristic phone network for their car phones. A call would bounce uninterrupted between cells of coverage. At the time, the technology and the infrastructure for this did not exist, but it soon would. The car phones quickly became popular despite their limitations. Only a limited number of people could use the service at a time, which meant 5 to 10 year waiting lists began to form, and existing customers could sometimes wait up to 30 minutes to place a call. But then, in 1973, Motorola engineer Martin Cooper showed what the future would look like, the Dynatac 8000X. Based on Bell's cell network concept, it was the world's first handheld cell phone. 10 years and a $100 million investment later, Motorola finally released the phone to the public.
I'd like to order a large pizza with mushrooms, anchovies, and the hottest peppers you can find.
The decade-long delay was caused by the need to build the cellular infrastructure the phone required to operate. The phone took 10 hours to charge, lasted 35 minutes, and cost $3,995, which would be about $10,000 today.
Industry watchers say there are only a few thousand cellular phones in use right now, but that number is expected to grow considerably within the next few years during the cellular revolution.
Ahead of its time, the IBM Simon could be considered the world's first smartphone, the world's first touchscreen phone, and the first phone to have software apps. It cost around $1,099 new, which would be around $1,800 today.
Today, Apple is going to reinvent the phone. But what we're going to do is get rid of all these buttons and just make a giant screen. A giant screen.
Just 1 month after one of the most popular BlackBerry devices was released, the original iPhone hit shelves nationwide. It would go on to sell more than 6 million units, with new models introduced every year. The iPhone would forever change mobile phones, the computer industry, and technology forever. Today's cell phones are a far cry from the $10,000 Dynatac phone of 1983. And for many people, the phone feature has become one of the least used features. But in the future, phones could make another drastic change. The World Economic Forum thinks the first implantable phones will become commercially available by 2024.
Who is the inventor of this and when it has been invented?
Martin Cooper, sometimes known as Marty Cooper, is an American engineer who led the team that created the first mobile cell phone and made the first cell phone conversation in 1972 to 1973. He is largely acknowledged as the inventor of the mobile phone. He is a pioneer in the wireless communication industry, particularly in radio spectrum management. Holding elements patient in the subject, Motorola engineer Martin Cooper made the first handheld circular phone call on April 3, 1973, while strolling between the 53rd and 54th Street on New York 6th Avenue.
What is the reason of the inventory? He or she was so fascinated to succeed in this invention.
Martin Cooper want people to have freedom to talk on the phone away from their cars. So in reaction, he and Motorola embarked on a project to create a more portable device. Motorola spent 3 months building a prototype of a portable mobile headset, and Cooper publicity demonstrated in April of 1973. The cell phone main purpose is to keep people connected, regardless of the distance that separates them. When we call someone, we are actually calling the person and not a place. This enables us to be more spontaneous when making plans, as you rarely get a busy signal. Unlike to a line telephone, someone is always home.
What are the advantages and disadvantages of this invention?
Here are some advantages of this invention. The first one is easy communication. The biggest advantage of utilizing a mobile phone is that it simplifies communication because we can call our friends, family members, co-workers, and others at the time, but just pushing a few buttons on the phone. Mobile phones also allow us to communicate with others via voice call, video call, text messaging, recorded calls, and other means. The next one is education. It is another significant advantage of the mobile phones. Mobile phones may be used to get knowledge or information on a variety of subjects. Nowadays, most universities, institutions, and schools provide online education with appropriate study materials, which can be in form of photographs, photos, text, PDF, and so on. During the COVID-19 pandemic, we saw that students took online lessons given by their individual school to safeguard their safety and health. The third one is social media. In today's world, mobile phones are utilized for more than just making phone calls. Smartphones are thought to be the perfect present of social media addicts. Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, and other social media applications are always available to us. We can edit and share photos, post on social media right from our phones. We have access to social media at all times thanks to mobile devices. The fourth one is promotion of a business. Mobile phone may be used to promote a company. Mobile phones are ideal for businesses or business people that want to market their products or service through online or offline channels. One is good for people's safety. In today's society, criminal activities go on new levels. Thus, carrying a cell phone on you is a wise safety precaution. We hear about so many criminal acts in daily lives, such as abduction, theft, and others mobile. Thus, mobile phone assist us in a variety of unlawful operation because they are the fastest communication device. It enables us to contact the police, family members, so that we may receive assistance as quickly as possible. The sixth one is helpful emergency situation. Consider the following scenario. You are driving a car on a unfamiliar route when it becomes stuck. So, in this scenario, the cell phone is the first item that allows us to contact the technician or a family member to solve the problem. If we become ill and I want service of a doctor, no one is at home. So, in these cases, the mobile phone is the item that we may utilize for a quick communication. 7.1 is earn money via mobile phone. We make money by using our cell phones. To generate money, we publish blogs, YouTube videos, promote businesses, and engage in other activities. Camera in mobile phones. The latest smartphones include high-resolution cameras that allow you to record every moment. People used to carry cameras with them to record unforgettable moment before the mobile phones. But today's is it possible to do with cell phones. The next one is GPS location. It is one of the most advantageous features of a mobile phone. The mobile device provides us with information about the present position and the destination. The next one is online banking. Mobile phones may also be used to do online banking. Mobile device make it simple to access bank accounts, check account status, and may transfer money from one bank to another. We may now pay utility bills and other payments using our mobile phones. And the other mobile phones features like flashlight. Mobile phones have flashlight built in rather than carrying a torch, right? The next one is alarms and reminders. Mobile phones allow us set alarms and reminders. We may establish our route, appointment, doctor's appointments, medicine timings, and so on our cell phone, which help us to remember all the planned duties. The next one is the calculator. Mobile device may use to compute bills, taxes, invoice, mathematical computation, and other calculations. The next one is the contact. People used to take diaries with them before mobile phones to preserve phone numbers. However, it is now simple to save any contact number on mobile phones. In just one click, masisave mo na ang contact numbers. So let's proceed to the disadvantages of this invention. The first one is the distractions. Sometimes a mobile smartphone is bothersome gadget that provides distraction between your tasks. It is observed in students who are easily diverted from their studies due to mobile device, since the device provide programs that entice users to enjoy their software. One such application is the different smartphone games that are being played these days, which are causing individuals to become addicted and sidetracked from their goals. The next one is the ear problems. Hearing music, viewing movies, and talking to the phone for an extended period of time with headphones or headset might impair an individual's listening ability. According to the studies, using headphones with a louder sound sustainability impairs the capacity of the ears to hear voices correctly. The next one is time wastage. Although cell phones are useful in many ways, they are also one of the leading cause of time waste. It is affect our majority of the student and teens. Students want to spend their time by playing video games, watching movies, listening to music, and engaging in other terms of entertainment. Addiction to mobile phones is known as monophobia. People with this mental condition are unable to stop themselves without to use cell phones. They can't even picture themselves without their phones. Excessive use of mobile phones led to addiction. The next one is cyberbullying. Cyberbullying is defined as sending, posting, or sharing nasty, misleading, or damaging content about another person. According to the research, the majority of the adolescents and teenagers had been bullied. Cyberbullying endangers someone's life. The next one is security issues. These are the most typical problems encountered by mobile users. Although iPhone iOS is somewhat safe, hacker may easily penetrate someone's privacy and data on Android phones. People's safety is exposed by the dangers of utilizing mobile phone. People suffered a variety of disadvantages as a result of security concerns, including financial loss of image and reputation, among others. The next one is health issues. Excessive usage of mobile phones cause health issues. Such type of eye poopness is other vision disorder, anger, despair, anxiety, stress, and other mental problems are all intensified by mobile phones. The next one is sleeping issues or sleeping problem. Excessive use of mobile phone has a negative impact on one's sleeping habit. People use their phone when they are asleep. The next one is accidents. People who are engaged in their phone even when they are walking or driving a car, using a cell phone while driving cause accident and endangers the lives of others. It is extremely risky to use a cell phone while driving since accident can damage or kill other people. The next one is the distance from family. Although mobile phones link people from distance that allow us to contact them with effortless, if we do not utilize them appropriately, they can create distance between us and friends, relatives, and family members who are near us. Please take note that now we must learn how to utilize mobile phones properly. Please only use your phone for crucial and critical tasks such as studying, phoning, and company promotion. It should not be used to play video games independently or watch time extended films. Stop using your phone for an extended period of time and avoid become addicted to it. Mobile phones, like anything else, have their own set limits and benefits. Thus, how they are used to totally up to the users. As a result, one should constantly use a product like cell phone while keeping the negative impacts in the mind.
What would you invent if you were a scientist, and why you invent this?
Due to the continuous advancement of the technologies in the world, what I will invent if I am a scientist is just an application that will simplify, benefit, and help us for our daily life. The iChop location mark show you the most typical task you would wish to perform on a map or with the place data, and it recommends the ideal location of your needs. iChop rows as the means of categorizing individuals into group of based on occupation, location of origin, clan connection, and patronage. Some of the functionalities of this program are similar to those of Google Maps. It provides satellite image, aerial photography, street map, 360 interactive panoramic street views, real-time traffic conditions, and route planning for travel by pack, vehicle, or air or public transportation. iChop location mark can assist you in the event of a lost person, animal, and other term items. It will be significant portion of the country. This application also have a scanner for locating missing items. You may not just place image or anything similar to the lost item there, and it will find where such item are, like a pulse. You can find out they simply scanning by their image. The majority of high-resolution imaginary of the cities is top-down or bird's-eye view. Aerial photography shot from flying aircraft. This software will assist you in quickly resolving your issue. It will not be difficult for you, nor will take it lengthy time to reach intended location. The advantage of this software include the wealth of information such as road layout, city, and town locations, state boundaries, geographical characteristics, restaurant ratings, and satellite pictures. You can share map with your family, friends, and neighbors, making it simpler to plan and coordinate. That's all. Thank you.